Hi everyone, it's Gsgenesis, VR's game show pioneer himself, here to give you two remarkable new updates. First and most obviously, I started streaming on Twitch on August 14th of this year. And exactly a week after that, I became a Twitch affiliate. Oh, yeah, I know, it's a great thing. It's remarkable. Alright, calm down. Thank you. Yes, I became an affiliate. So now I can work with a lot more content creators officially and provide more amazing content through the platform. Also be sure to contribute to my new Ko-fi page if possible. Some amazing event plans need your help to make them happen. The other update is an honorable milestone in my VR chat world making passion. My Family Feud VR world, the classic one, has now surpassed 200,000 visits. There is no denying that it is now the most visited and most popular VR chat game show world ever. Users love it. Updates to add new content to Family Feud VR will be coming soon, so stay tuned. And to celebrate both of these achievements, I have an all-new video to share with you here. And it relates to my VR chat film label, Interrupting Smash Cut Productions. I founded ISC back in March 2025 with the intention of telling remarkable stories through it, all filmed in VR chat. But as I've said many times, I am always willing to try something new. So I created a 7-minute video under Interrupting Smash Cut to reveal a bit of history behind one of my favorite franchises, Transformers. If you've been paying attention to the fandom in recent weeks, you likely know about a shocking new chapter in the history of developing the series. So if you have 7 minutes to spare right now, sit back and take a look.
In 1984, the Transformers franchise was launched by Hasbro, perhaps the biggest name in the toy industry. Conceived with the help of the Japan-based toy maker Takara, where Transformers was lifted directly from their Diaclone and Microchange toy lines, Hasbro immediately adopted their three-pronged marketing strategy they had started with the relaunch of G.I. Joe 2 years earlier. A wave of transforming robot action figures, a Marvel comic book series, and a syndicated animated cartoon. With an incredibly innovative plot developed by Marvel editor-in-chief Jim Shooter, the series was incredibly ambitious for its time, and its characters, developed by Bob Budiansky, include fan favorites like Bumblebee, Megatron, Starscream, Jazz, Soundwave, and of course, Optimus Prime. Since its launch, the Transformers etched its way into pop culture for over 40 years. But it almost wasn't the same. At the same time George Arthur Bloom was developing the 3-part animated pilot for syndication on US television, Marvel Productions had another plan. In February 1984, Hank Soroyan and Jeffrey Scott had their own concept for a Transformers cartoon. A production bible was quickly developed by the end of the month. But this pitch was not to be like the syndicated series we know and love today. In fact, it wasn't even intended for syndication. It was pitched to CBS. The CBS television network had cemented its place in people's homes with daytime programming, soap operas like The Young and the Restless, and As the World Turns, along with its game shows. The Price is Right, Pyramid, and Press Your Luck were among its biggest hits. In primetime, it was Dallas, Magnum P.I., and its iconic Evening News with Dan Rather. And Saturday mornings? Cartoons for All, Shirt Tales, Saturday Supercade, and of course, Muppet Babies. The eye in the sky was shining bright in 1984, and Jeffrey Scott wanted it to be even brighter. He wanted to add the Transformers to the roster of Saturday morning cartoons on CBS. In the first draft of Scott's Bible, some things remained the same as what was used, but not everything. The backstory was the first change. According to it, the Autobots managed to win the war against the Decepticons. However, the life forces of their foes fled their yet-named homeworld and possessed mechanical crafts on Earth, with the Autobots in hot pursuit. But in the Revised Bible, The backstory changed to what Jim Shooter had already devised. The robot's homeworld, now officially called Cybertron, had been depleted of its energy resources during their war, forcing them to leave the planet and find new energy resources. They fight in space aboard the Autobot starship, and it crash lands into a volcano. 4 million years later, the volcano erupts and both factions reawaken. So far is what we all know, but that will be all that would be the same. For humanity, it was all downhill from there. The CBS series would be set 4 years from then, in 1988. All of the nations of the world would be under Decepticon rule, and humans were their slaves, making new Decepticon warriors using Earth's industrial power and resources. A technological dystopia. It will be up to the Autobots and their human resistance allies to liberate Earth from the evil Decepticons and their leader, Megatron. Except by this time, he wasn't called Megatron.
What?
Likely under the direction of CBS executives, Jeffrey Scott took a lot of liberties from what we got and what Hasbro had likely already planned. This included changing certain elements about our iconic robots in disguise. Skywarp and Soundwave were different colors. The original female robot characters, Fire Cycle and Whirlpool, were created, and a different alternate mode was made for Megatron, and he got a different name, Negator. There were also different human characters, Wendy and Eddie Fairchild, along with Matt Conroy and his German Shepherd Bert. But one of the weirdest differences was Muffler. Yes, instead of Bumblebee, we would have had Muffler. And clearly not a Takara or Hasbro design. He appears to be partially based on the GoBot Bugbite, made by rivals Bandai and Tonka. There was even a corrupt human sympathizing with the Decepticons, Arthur Kroll. But despite a strong effort by Jeffrey Scott and CBS, complete with plans for episodes and even a complete pilot script being written, Hasbro didn't allow the series to pass. And probably for the best. The failed pitch would have greatly deviated from the toys and comics, which was key to Hasbro's continuity in each franchise. But what if the CBS series had actually been greenlit? Would it have been as well known as what we actually got? Would it have aired instead of the syndicated series? How would it have looked and sounded? And would it have lasted as long as the actual series? Well, Interrupting Smash Cut Productions plans to answer that. Just as Shattered Glass offered an alternate look into the fictional world of Transformers, we plan to offer an alternate look into the real world, if it actually caught our eyes.
Attention, miserable flesh creatures of this planet! Surrender yourselves to the mighty Megatron, or risk...
Sorry to worry you like that. Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Optimus Prime. Join me, my fellow Autobots, and our human allies every Saturday morning this fall for the premiere of a brand new animated action adventure, The Transformers, based on Hasbro's popular robot action figures. Every Saturday morning turns into a heart-pounding thrill ride with new missions, new risks, and new rewards. So get in on the action with The Transformers every Saturday morning this fall, immediately following Dungeons & Dragons, only on CBS. We'd feel really bad if you missed it. Right, Megatron?
Roll out with The Transformers starting September 15th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 10:30 Central, only on CBS.
Yes, it's true. Interrupting Smash Cut Productions is starting development on its first non-VR chat project, Transformers Eyecatcher. This remarkable what-if 2D animated series shows what a potential CBS Saturday morning Transformers cartoon would be like, based on the documents seen in the Sunbow Marvel archive. All Transformers, all animated, all talent, absolutely no AI. If you'd like to help bring this incredible fan project to life, contact Gsgenesis and inquire about Transformers Eyecatcher. Until all are one.
Transformers Eyecatcher has been officially forged into existence. As that video alluded to, the alternate history series will be Interrupting Smash Cut's first project to not be filmed or produced in VR chat. It will be purely animated in the classic 2D cel-shaded style. And our promise during development? Absolutely no AI will be used for production. No AI voices, no AI animation, no AI music, no AI anything. But with all ambitious projects like this, Transformers Eyecatcher needs your help to give it life. If you are interested in assisting with production on this incredible fan series, contact me or Interrupting Smash Cut Productions with any potential talent you can bring to this series. We plan to officially start development early in 2026, so if you are a true Transformers fan with a portfolio to match, your help will be invaluable. Feel free to join us. That's all for the latest updates from me and Interrupting Smash Cut. We thank you very much for watching. From me to you, and on behalf of my colleagues in the game show communities of VR Chat and ISC, we wish you a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.